Welcome to Nostalgic Overload Podcast, a podcast dedicated to everything 90s to 2000s pop culture, from movies, music, video games, to anything we feel like actually talking about. I am your host, Weston, and this is my co-host, Andrew. So we want to talk about something that I just went to, which is why I'm wearing this Metallica shirt. So I recently went to watch Metallica with my mom and dad, and we had amazing, not really seats, we were on the floor in the pit. So it was an amazing time because my dad, ever since I was a kid, he's been into Metallica, and to add to it, I got to watch Limp Bizkit live, which was pretty awesome, and Pantera and two other opening bands. It was an amazing time. I'll put pictures up here and video clips from all that. And then we didn't talk about it last time, but Andrew took a trip recently to Canada. He got across the border and back.
Yeah, safely.
Not legally.
Yeah, and legally. Got to visit the top hat of the United States, is what I call it, because they're pretty fancy up there.
So, where did you all go when you're up there?
Just to Niagara.
Niagara?
Yeah, and then we stayed in a little town called Fenwick.
A town called Fenwick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your last name.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. Just hung out. We did the Niagara thing, knocked that out in a day, and then we stayed the rest of the week in an Airbnb, and it was pretty nice, just in the countryside.
Well, your hotel, you were like right by the falls.
I was on the 40 something floor, overlooking Niagara, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
the sound of that water rushing over the falls is insane.
And it's something like you have to see in person to fully understand. Like, you can see pictures all day long, but to actually be there
doesn't do it
and
justice.
To see it is literally like breathtaking.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So did you take the trip on the boat?
We couldn't take the ferry. There was
man.
a lot. It was cold still, so there was a lot of frozen stuff around the falls that made it inaccessible. But
yeah.
Regardless, it was beautiful. At night, it's all lit up, different colors. Now we went to the Canadian side, not the American side, because we heard that the Canadian side is easily accessible more.
Yeah.
And really, it was super nice.
Oh yeah, man, it's so cool. And there's a thing farther up, because I went there when I was in middle school, so I was like, I don't know, like 11, 12, I don't remember the exact age, but there's a thing where the water starts and it's like real fast up on top if you go farther up, and that's where people used to take little things that they would hop in, and they would go over the falls and see who can survive, which is literally insane. Yeah. Like, who would want to purposely try to possibly not live?
Yeah, if you die, you lose. Sorry.
Yeah, that'd be so scary. And these things they made, I mean, they're not nothing. There's not like something that you would think would be very safe.
Yeah, just like wooden barrels and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a kid that was leaning over the edge of one of the falls one time, and actually, from what I was told, he fell behind the fall, because if he would have fell down, he would have died, obviously. Yeah. But cause that's a big drop, and the horseshoe falls, it's just neat to, like, from your viewpoint. I wasn't in a hotel, but I was in that Needle Point tower at the very top, and you could see the horseshoe falls in the American one too, and it's something that you just have to like see in person.
It is.
I was able to take the boat up to it and get real close into the horseshoe falls.
Just get soaking wet.
We were on the top deck right in the front, so where you could see everything, and the water was rushing. And then we did the what's it called, hurricane deck, where you actually walk in front of the falls, and you're like right there where you can actually like almost touch them, but the water's coming down so fast.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Really, there was a path you could take when we were there. It was blocked. They clearly blocked it off because it was. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. It was just a wall of ice, and so you couldn't even get out of the entryway, which is nature's way of telling you not to do it. But it was It was really cool too.
Yeah, definitely.
But they had some decks and stuff you could go out, and you were like, the water was falling right off to the right of you, and you could go out there and take pictures. But I mean, you could see everything from that deck. But I mean, we were all crammed in like sardines. You know what I mean? There were so many people there.
When I was in that tower, that's how it was. It was so packed. There were so many people. I was like, this is not fun when there's like 400,000 people, it feels like, inside this tower.
You're just buttholes to elbows at that point. Just like everyone squeezed in.
That would be right up Eli's alley then.
Yeah.
Buttholes and elbows.
Buttholes and elbows.
But we also want to talk about something that this month is going on. So when we record this, it's right at the end of May. And this is something that's important to me, and I know for Andrew, is Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's not just a month thing, it's all year long. So we have a great time on here, and we talk about stuff. And we hope it helps people out there that are having a hard time, and to get through those hard times and on to other better days. Because if you might be having a hard time right now, it will get better. Just keep on pushing. Don't ever give up on yourself. And it's something that, like, from someone that's lost someone to this, it's really important to us as a whole that, you know, if you're listening, I hope this helps you guys out and has a good time. Or maybe you're just having a good time and you're having an even better time. So thank you to everybody who's listening, watching, liking, subscribing, all that stuff across all the platforms that we have. And we just find it cool that you guys are enjoying what we're talking about, and it helps you guys out. And then you talk about stuff that you remember, or you guys have talks to each other in the comments, and it's just overall a good, chill vibes, and us just all hanging out. You know, as kids that grew up either in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or even now, you know, because there's a lot of things that have changed, but the one thing that hasn't changed is we're all here together and to help each other out. So thank you everybody again for all the love and support across all the platforms. So
if you're going through something, talk about it.
Yeah,
there's
definitely
so many people that care about you. You're worth it.
Yeah, everybody's worth it, and we've all been there where it's a little bit harder. So just to talk to somebody, whether it's one of us or you want to reach out to somebody you know who you can talk to, just talk to anybody really. And just, it's okay to talk about it. I'm just hold it all in. Talk about what's going on that's you're having a hard time with right now. So who remembers 2000s art infomercials? So these are those infomercials that would play, because back then when we watched live TV, you didn't have a choice to skip ads and like all the other stuff, or like pay to not have ads. You had to watch these infomercials, and some of these just stick inside of your brain, where the second you hear this infomercial, you're gonna be like, oh wow, this just hits. And as a kid, these are the things that you would watch in between like your cartoons or you're watching a movie, because you had to watch the ads, whether it be about food or art infomercials. So the first one.
Are you ready for the new Rainbow Art Set? Introducing the brand new Deluxe Kit. Easily make awesome rainbow effects in one simple stroke. And with the new Rainbow Art Set, you can do more than ever before. Simply move the blocks and the colors of the rainbow. Every drawing is incredible. Just switch the colors and let your imagination
you can switch them around and make the colors
mix and
different.
match to create almost 1 million different color combinations. The possibilities are endless. It's still as easy as dip, dab, and draw. Forget all those paints. With Rainbow Art, look, no splatter, no drips, and the colors dry in seconds. You can create a multicolored motorcycle in no time. With the new Rainbow Art Set, it's easier and better than ever before.
Yeah, you can tell that's not a kid
you'll
drawing
also
that.
get this awesome mega brush.
I want to know when I was watching this, how many times it took them to make this look this good.
Amazing color combination.
Because you know there was a couple
mess ups. Doesn't stop there. We'll also include the new UV glow.
They were like, hey, we painted these.
Oh, you get UV colors. Now they're going to dark.
And then watch them glow.
You can tell they were like, here, kids, we painted these, but like,
and now
after
you
he did
choose the colors you like best. And with this new carrying case, you
Carrying
can take
case?
it everywhere. You get the new
It's always that, like, oh, wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Sets of brushes, plus
It's not
the new
good
Mega
enough.
Brush
2 set of
and the
brushes.
UV
New
glow-in-the-dark
Mega Brush.
colors.
I would have killed for those UV ones. So.
And then there's one more right after that. And this is one that's another one that I remember.
Are you ready to have some fun? Well,
Yeah.
now you can create
Do you remember
colorful
this
works of
one?
art in
Yes.
just seconds with
It's like when you
Marvin's
see it,
magic
you're just
drawing
like, man, I
board.
just
It works
remember
like
this so much.
magic. Wonderful,
Again,
colorful
this is an
creations
adult
come to
dude.
life right before your
There's
eyes.
no
It's
kid,
easy
dude.
and it's
I love how
fun.
everything has to be
When you're
like,
done, a few quick swipes and
you
you're
know, it's
ready
not
to
just like
create
blue or
another
green. It has to be
masterpiece.
in a rainbow
For
color
any
because
age,
back in the
it's
2000s,
fast,
everything's
it's easy,
about
and
rainbows
kids love
and
it.
glow in the dark.
Yeah,
No paper,
vibrant
no
colors.
paper,
And no
no
crowns.
mess
Oh my
at
gosh.
all.
And I can take it in my
Perfect
car.
on the road or in the air.
I'm gonna
You can
have
pack
to
it anywhere.
purchase
But
one of
wait,
these.
You'll also get Marvin's amazing pens, invisible, erasable.
What do you think if you called
absolutely
that
amazing.
the Humber on
Even
the screen?
change color
You-
right
you
before
think it
your
still
eyes.
works?
Right
Now
now.
that's
Call it right
magic.
now.
Yo, I
This
want
complete
Marvin's
set for
magic.
$20.
Must be 18 years or older to call, but get your complete magic drawing set on this
Some dude
special
would answer
TV
me and be
offer.
like,
Call
let it go, guy.
1-800-972-6644.
Westchester.
You're
Your
30s
Marvin's
now.
Magic
Get
Drawing
out
Set
of
for
here.
$19.95.
Pennsylvania,
Must be 18
right?
years or older to call.
Yeah.
Call 1-800-972-6644.
1995
So-
plus tax.
Those commercials, when you see them, you just remember like watching your cartoons in the morning or after school and like seeing those infomercials where you're like, man, like in a way you wanted them, but you kept seeing them over and over that you got tired of seeing
Yeah.
them. So you're like, I don't even want them now. Like I've already seen the commercial like
Yeah.
40,000 times. It feels.
And my
it feels like-
motorcycle, I draw a dog shit motorcycle.
yeah, your parents
Yeah.
like, here's some crowns.
Yeah.
You don't need no fancy art set
They'd
here.
be like, touch grass, dude. Go outside.
Touch grass.
Yeah. Go outside.
So when I was looking those up, I found another one, and this one I don't know if you remember. So this is a bonus one for us, but hover disc. Do you remember hover
Yeah.
disc? Do you remember the ad?
No.
No. So when you see this, I
Never.
want you to just think like just remember
This was in the 90s.
because I found this. I was like, oh, I gotta have this in here because it's just extra awesomeness.
Are you ready to catch one of the hottest toys in America? Introducing the incredible Hover Disc.
What do they look
the
like,
amazing flying
UFOs?
toy of the
They're
21st
just like
century.
Mylar
This
balloons.
gravity-defying saucer is so
But look how cool it is. It
You've
comes
never
back.
seen anything fly like
I feel like if
hover
I did that,
disc.
it wouldn't
Toss
come
it
back.
like a flying disc and it just goes
Because
and
I'd be
goes.
launching that thing. Like,
Push
look
it and
how
it flies
easy
like
they're
something
being.
out of
I was
this
the kid that had the
world.
boomerang
Bust
where you try to
it,
throw
bang
it and you're like, it never comes back.
Push it, toss
Yeah,
it,
but it
tap
killed the
Hover
neighbor's
disc
cat.
is totally cool.
Whoops.
Invent tricks, play games, let your imagination soar. Do freestyle tricks and your hover disc performs awesome
Look how cool
acrobatic
it is.
stunts that are
is.
unbelievably cool.
I am not gonna lie, I never had one of
ABC
these,
News
so.
says it's the hot new
No,
toy.
I knew
It's the
kids that
Hover
did.
Disc.
But I may have, when I
It
looked this up,
flies,
looked them up on eBay,
defies
see if I can find one.
gravity.
You
It's
should buy
the
one.
incredible
Because I wanted to get
Hover
one like in the
Disc, an
package. It'd be
amazing
pretty
3 feet
sweet to like
across, yet safe
buy.
indoors.
I don't
Hover
remember
Disc is
seeing
made
one,
of a
but it
high-strength
just looked
material
cool.
developed for
But most
NASA,
people
and
probably
it's
didn't even buy
designed
it.
to last.
Ooh, that
It's
kid
strong
was totally-
and
Like I didn't know
durable.
anyone that had
Use
one of
air or
these.
helium. It's refillable, and it can be used again and again.
It's like those
Call
things
and
you put in
can
your
get
window
this
where it
spiral
folds up
hover
too, where
disc
you're
for
like, how does like
Windshield
$19.95 for
covers.
this special TV
like you
offer.
try to fold it
And
and it
you
wouldn't
also
fold the right
get
way?
covered
It's like a
glow-in-the-dark stickers.
folding clothes.
Absolutely
Oh, look,
great.
another thing that has glow in the dark.
To get
Comes
one of
with
the hottest
free
toys in America.
stickers.
It floats, it flies,
Or not stickers,
it
those little glow-in-the-dark
defies gravity.
stars.
It's the Hover Disc, $19.95 for the spiral Hover Disc with the free
Free
glow-in-the-dark
stickers. And the stickers
But
probably fall
wait,
off or
now
something.
you can get the Alien Hover Disc for free. That's
Get
right,
free
2
one
Hover
with
Discs
it?
for
How come everything's the same
$19.95
price
for
with
this
these
special
too when you had the
TV offer.
commercials?
Helium
$19.95.
must
That
be
was like the
18 years old.
standard.
Call. Here's how
But that,
to order.
yeah, 1995, $20 plus shipping and handling.
And plus your tax, which back then wasn't the same as it is now, probably.
No, it
but
was probably way smaller.
but I
That's
never
the
had
thing-
one of
that's the
these.
thing. You
but-
couldn't get on your phone and be like, on Amazon, send that to me. You had to
No.
call that number. You had to talk to somebody, and they had to ship it. So by the time you got it, you probably forgot about it. You know what I mean?
It's so funny because you would mail it, right? You would put money in an envelope, and then
Yeah.
you would send it, and you would hope that you would get the item.
Yeah.
But who knows if you ever got it?
Yeah.
And then who's gonna tell anybody?
Right.
You think the FBI is gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't get your hover disc?
How dare they? We're gonna find these people. We're gonna get them.
We're investigating this. This is intense."
Yeah. they're going down.
Like, we're gonna message Area 51 who probably created these.
Yeah, because they look like UFOs.
Because they look like UFOs and look like something they would be out there like playing with.
Well, kid, you didn't get it because that's an identified.
But I was looking at the art one and I found this and I was like, oh man, like it just took me back, like just watching that. I don't know why. And the people that find these, by the way, great job to you, because you found these old ads that are probably on a VHS tape or something.
Yeah.
Is who remembers TV guides? I'm not talking about the TV guide when you hit your TV and it populates all the stuff you can watch on TV. We're talking about the menu. Black and white, just regular Jane TV guide. And ours came in the newspaper. I don't know how you got yours. Yeah. But yeah, I took ours too. Mm-hmm. So it was just in the newspaper. I remember, this is something else too, is my dad would roll it up. And when the dog was bad, he would like smack the dog for, like, it was like the easiest thing to get, small. But I found one for this picture. It's December 25th, 1992. Like, it would be really cool to have an old TV guide and just like look at the old shows that were on. Because, like, this is how you would find what channel it's on. Obviously, it depends on who you had for your cable, but just really neat to, like, think, like, we were trying to find out what show was on. Like, you weren't able to be like, oh, I want to watch this show right now. I have to wait until 8 o'clock. Yeah, and then sometimes we would record it at 8. It wasn't at 8. It was a different time. Yeah. And we would get something totally different recorded. Yeah. VHS tapes are the things that we would record these on, and I know you guys don't know about those out there, or some do, but it was just,
who remembers those?
Yeah, who remembers having to rewind those, and the thing's gonna blow up, sounds like.
Yeah. Did your dad erase your birthday party for Terminator 2? Because if he did, it was probably worth it, because Terminator 2 is the best Terminator movie.
Well, my dad, he recorded like all sorts of stuff, like shows, like football games, and some of those VHS tapes could hold a ton.
Oh yeah.
But the TV guys were so important to know what was on when, or you would just, I remember whatever cable company we had, you had like the paper that told you like what shows on, and of course I'm looking for like Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, with like FX maybe back then.
Nickelodeon.
What was the one that had like the Full House on? It was like ABC Family maybe?
PBS.
Yeah. But it was just a different time to like find out what's on and when it's on, because like now you can just, I mean,
it's at your fingertips at all times.
I literally just watched new episodes of The Last of Us, and I didn't have to like pick a certain time. I just watched it. Yeah. Like, it's just the times have changed, and it's something to think about, because like you also had the ones that were like they had like the covers on them, and you would buy them at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. I didn't have those kind. I always had these ones, because you know, you bought the newspaper, which honestly, who buys the newspaper nowadays? It's like, I can't remember last time I've even seen one. Like, it's kind of, information's now all digital, but this is the time when we would find things out like this, like just you would highlight it or you would be ready to watch it. And it's just crazy to think how times have changed. And in the 1990s, TV Guide expanded significantly, publishing nearly 150 editions to cater to various markets, including individual cities, cable providers with ultimate cable editions, and the satellite providers like DirecTV and Dish Network. The magazine also developed TV Guide On Screen, a software system offering on-screen program listening. So that's how you would find out about them now, is you know, my parents have cable and you still have like the guide and you can go through, which I don't really use honestly, but actually when I was out of town at a hotel, I did use it, because I don't know what the channels are.
Oh yeah. But and most hotels now have a little paper that tells you that what channel is what, you know, what Comedy Central is on. Do people still watch Comedy Central?
I don't know if you watch Comedy Central still, because is South Park on there still?
Or I have no idea.
I don't watch TV. It's almost like listening to the radio. Like, it's kind of in the same spot. Like, I don't do either one of them. Who remembers Waterbeds? Those beds that you would try to lay in and you'd get lost in. I remember being a little kid and like get in it at my grandparents' house, and I couldn't get out of the bed. It was like the most scariest thing trying to get out of a waterbed, because it's not easy if you're like a little kid. You gotta like roll around.
It wasn't easy for adults either. I mean,
see, I can't imagine being an adult now and thinking about trying to get out of a waterbed.
No, waterbeds were cool, but also you had to. Most people that had waterbeds had to put them in their basement, because you're talking that thing probably weighs. I couldn't even gauge. My dad had one that looked almost exactly like that.
Really?
Yes.
So look just like that. Like it always has like the wooden frame and like the mirror.
Yeah.
Backboards or looking like little shelves that you're never gonna probably use.
No, but he had one that looked very similar to that. But
so how did your dad get it out of his house?
He had to take it apart.
How do you get the water out?
You just drain it.
Oh, you can
hook a hose up and just drain it.
What if it like leaked and it was upstairs?
What if that thing popped? What could you imagine sleeping and then you drowned? Like, I'm already.
You're like laying in it, and then all of a sudden you're like, I feel really wet.
Yeah. It'd be the only exceptional time to blame it on the waterbed is if you piss the bed. Like, it leaks every now and then. It smells like piss water. But don't worry about it.
Wonder how the water would smell. Did you have to like change it?
It'd be stagnant and nasty.
It probably was so nasty.
Yeah. They were cool, but those things also weigh a literal, like, I'm not gonna say a literal ton, but you'd have to put it in the sturdiest place. You could imagine having a waterbed upstairs and you're filling that thing up, and your whole upstairs room just comes crashing downstairs.
Waterbed bunk bed, like two of them.
No way.
No.
There's no way.
Can you imagine being underneath and the person on top, it pops, and then you're on the bottom?
Yeah. You just pop it and get covered in water. The water damage that would do to your house would be insane.
I just don't think it would be practical to have one. Like, it was a cool thing for back then, but as a kid, I was like, I couldn't get out of the thing. Like, it made me like anxious to get in it and then try to get out of it. Because like it was all fun, but I'm like, how do you sleep like this? It's like sleeping on a boat. Because it's like constantly moving. I'm like, it doesn't feel comfortable at all.
I mean, realistically.
And how do you get your bed sheets on there? Because it's so awkwardly shaped.
I don't know. Really, if you were an older person that had a waterbed, how'd you have sex on it? Like, what was that like?
That's something that we didn't get to experience.
Yeah, like just riding the waves. Is that why that phrase said it's not about the size of the boat, it's the motion in the ocean? Because people were banging on waterbeds? What were we doing? Help us out.
This one right here, it looks like you're on a whoopee cushion because it's like red.
Yeah, like look how mountainous that thing is. And then like imagine
it might be overfilled though. That one might be too high.
Yeah, like you're gonna hop on that thing and it's gonna pop. And then you're like, what do I do now? I need to dial my insurance. I need to call my insurance.
You have insurance on it when you get one?
Dude, you'd have to have like flood protection in your house for that.
What if you had a whole house of water beds?
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. Your water bill would be astounding.
I just don't think water beds are practical for nowadays.
They're not practical.
In the 1990s, water beds were a popular choice, with approximately 1 in 5 mattresses sold in America being fluid-filled. They were marketed for their unique squishy feel, health benefits, which is something you're talking about, and sometimes for their perceived association with sensuality.
Yeah.
However, they also had drawbacks, including the need for complex setup, weight, and potential for leaks.
Yeah, see.
In 1987, waterbeds accounted for 22% of all U.S. mattress sales, reaching a peak industry of billions of dollars. Advertisements highlighted the health benefits like, what's that word? Alleviating. Say elevating. I'm stupid. Aches and pains, and providing more restful sleep. Waterbeds required a complicated setup, including filled with hundreds of gallons of water, which was heavy and prone to leaks. The novelty wore off as as other mattresses types offered similar comfort without the hassle of water, leading to the decline of the waterbed industry in the 1990s, which they were still in the early 90s, so people were still kind of hanging on to them a little bit, or probably trying to figure out how to get rid of them.
Our dad got rid of his what do you want to call it, the balloon of the waterbed, and kept the bed frame. And I'm like, why do you have that bed frame?
Can you
still
put
a huge bed frame and you can use it?
Oh,
Okay.
that kind of sounds like me, as I try hang on to things and trying to reuse them because I don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean,
so I can understand that. No, you're trying to hang on to the thing you got just in case.
I spent all this money on it, I might as well hold on to it forever.
Although not as mainstream as before, waterbeds are still available, and some are exploring a modern revival with improvements like reduced wave motion and increased durability.
I want a waterbed, but I don't want it to be watery. Okay.
I don't want it to be wavy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they were cool for the time. It's kind of one of those things that we need to leave back there. You know how there's some things where you're like, we don't really need to bring them back.
Yeah. No.
Can you imagine, like, just being that? It'd be... sounds like a workout trying to get out of that thing.
Yeah. No. There's no way you could get out of bed without waking your significant other up.
Yeah, you could actually get in the bed and then bounce them off the bed.
Yeah.
If you got up in the bed after them.
I gotta get up and go to the bathroom, honey. And then there's 5 minutes of fighting out of this waterbed, and your significant other's just laying next to you. It's like, and sleep through that.
My son, he would love it. My kids, actually, both of them would still love it. They would be bouncing on that thing all the time. Probably pop it.
Oh yeah, and it's just
might have a leak into this room because they're right above this room.
Yeah.
It would be definitely something I would not want to get.
No.
But it was cool for the time. Like, it's something to talk about because it was still in our era.
Yeah. So the 90s,
like a while.
You can keep it.
Yeah, you can keep it in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, keep it back.
All right, who remembers MySpace?
A place for friends.
MySpace was like super popular before there was a Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff was real big. TikTok, all those other ones. There was MySpace. There was a couple small ones like My Yearbook and like some other small ones. Now, interesting fact about MySpace is that's how me and my wife started talking, was on MySpace. So that's how we got to know each other and talk, because I made some posts one time when I was out of town and she commented, and then it just all came off of there. So
thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tom, for who sold my MySpace and made a whole bunch of money off of it, because Tom's what does Tom do? Like, he's a photographer now, I think, or something. Like, he sold it, and then now he just kind of like travels and enjoys his life. Which
he got rid of MySpace, dude. I can't check up on him anymore. You know what I mean? He was my first friend. He was everyone's first friend.
Do you remember the Tom picture?
Yeah, him like sitting at a computer.
It was the same one. Like, it's like the OG MySpace picture. Everyone was friends with Tom, and everyone knows that picture, like the one with him at the desk where he's just sitting there. Yeah. Like, you did a good job, man. You didn't have to even change your profile picture. You just kept moving. And one thing about MySpace I remember is the page layouts. Remember, this is like how we learned early coding and like copying from sites and going to other sites and like creating our like whole page format of like wallpaper to music player to like putting the pictures on there and having everything look real cool and neat. Well, which on Facebook now it's just your page and your picture. Like, you don't really have all that stuff. Like you have like a top picture, but
I love spending an hour to get my page layout perfectly,
trying to find that right one.
Yeah, and then I'd change it the next day. You know, like everyone did. I hope everyone did that.
And like these pictures, I remember going through these sites and having to find that one wallpaper where you're like, I don't want the one that everyone else looks like they might have.
Yeah.
Like, I want the one that's a little different. Like, everyone like would have the Soldier Boy one that's on this picture up here, or like the little Hello Kitty one. I want something a little bit off the wall.
Stands out.
Yeah, and you had that one song on that player I would play when they would go onto your page. You remember that? You would pick songs for your player, and you're like, okay, this one's gonna play first. I had to get this player from this website. I had to copy this link to this and then put it in my page. Like, honestly, we were doing some pretty crazy stuff for being little kids, but it's just crazy to think, like, in the little pop-up, let's say, like, MySpace IM, where you would talk to people. It was like instant messenger on there where you could talk to your friends and you could see who's online. Like, we're talking about early days before Facebook. Like, this is how we all talk to each other. There wasn't all this random pictures and articles on here. It was just your page and your other friends, and you would just...
It created a lot of rivalries too, because you got to pick like a top. Well, first,
your
top
you
5.
Yeah, you're right. You get to pick your top friends, and then people would get mad because they're like, "Oh, I'm not your top friend.
How come I'm not in your top 5?" So they gave you
you're
like
still on my page.
They gave you a top 40, and it's like, yo,
everyone can't be the top.
If you're not in my top 5, maybe wash your ass. Maybe your booty cheeks stink a little bit, and you need to take a beat back, take a step back. Whatever the reasons are for someone not being.
I think that's what it says right there underneath that Tom one. That says rank user, so you can rank people. Yeah, that's so funny. I forgot about that. Yeah, you could rank your friends. Yeah,
everyone's like, why am I not in your top 5? I'm like, because you're number 6, dog. You about to be number 8 if you keep that attitude up.
Isn't it funny if we would care about who's the top one? Yeah. Now you just have friends. You don't even care. Like, oh yeah, I have like 700 friends. I don't easily talk to all those people.
You want to watch the world explode? Facebook, put a top 5 on.
Well, like now on Facebook, you can what is it? You can unfollow people. You can still have them as a friend, but not follow them. But on MySpace, it was like, now you're not my friend no more. That's it. Like you're just off. You're done.
Yeah.
Like, I've had enough listening to you.
I really liked it too, that people would be on there on MySpace, like I am in you on MySpace, but then you'd have like a AOL or AIM open, and then you could just be like,
we're talking to you on both.
Yeah,
and you're like, dude, you're already talking to me on the other one. Why are you talking to me on this one?
Dude, you want to call me on? I mean, I'm on the internet right now, and if you call my house, it'll kick me off. But like, but that's also. Back then, cell phones, having cell phones was a lot different, and I'm talking like early 2000s.
Well, you couldn't have MySpace on your phone,
no,
because the internet was like real stupid. When you got on the internet, it was like, dude, this is so janky. This doesn't even load the whole page.
It wasn't Wi-Fi, but the thing is, I remember cell phones. You had to, you had to call or text after like 9 p.m. or 7 p.m. For it to be free.
But now it's just free whenever you want to call. Yeah. You could call somebody in another world.
Yeah.
Well, that might cost
life on other planets exists.
Well, we're working on Mars right now and the moon, so maybe one day.
I'm sure there's some freaky stuff going on out there. Something aliens be getting wild. Maybe they have MySpace.
MySpace launched in 2003 by Tom Anderson and Chris DeWolfe. Quickly became the largest social networking site in the world. At its peak, it boasted over 100 million registered users and was particularly popular with musicians. MySpace allowed for extensive profile customization, including HTML code and music players, and offering a level of personalization not seen elsewhere. Within a year of MySpace had 5 million users and quickly became the most visited social networking site globally. MySpace was a major platform for musicians to connect with fans and promote their music, and feature that contributed to its rapid growth, which is crazy because you think about it. Like, I just remembered that you didn't have like as easily accessible to music as you do now. Like, you had to actually either like put on a CD or your iPod, but MySpace kind of brought all that up where if you heard a song, it could become big if it was on a player. Yeah. Or you would find artists on there and you'd add them because you're like, oh man, I have this artist as a friend now. I'm super cool.
And they were constantly updating with like, I mean, very similar to Facebook now, like tour dates and new music coming out, or they'd maybe post videos of them just getting trashed on the road.
Users could personalize their profiles with HTML code and adding background images, music players, and unique layouts. In 2006, MySpace surpassed Google as the most visited website in the United States. MySpace continues to be visited by millions each month, with a significant amount of traffic on Thursdays for Throwback Thursday posts on other platforms like Instagram. So, have you ever gone back to your old MySpace?
No,
So I got on there and I'm like, I don't know what anything is. There's so much stuff off of there. The whole format is different. I just wanted to see. I was like, what is on here? Like, are there some pictures I don't have that are on this only?
Right.
And when I seen it, I was like, nah, it's not the same. Like, it's just, it feels weird. Like, it's like a foreign world you can't go back to.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a restricted area.
yeah, it's just a restricted area. Like, it's just not the same. Like, you got Facebook now. I don't need a MySpace now.
Yeah,
I don't need all that
probably
stuff.
a lot of copyright issues, like people posting music and videos. It was probably like a huge ordeal with that.
Well, it's been bought by somebody. I can't remember who it is that bought MySpace. So, like, it is where it is now. Like, I don't know who purchased it, but MySpace is definitely something that we'll always remember. I mean, I owe it to it for having my wife, because that's how we met. So it's just, a lot of people probably met on there. A lot of people probably meet on Facebook,
Yeah.
Tinder, like whatever site you're on that you meet people.
Yeah.
However you meet them, right?
The internet's vast.
All right, who remembers the 90s S drawing? The drawing that everybody would draw and you would see, and it was so easy to draw. Remember, it was the 3 lines top, 3 lines bottom, lines over, lines, like all the, like, this is like a staple to like our growing up, and I have no idea where this came from. We just started doing it. Like, who started it?
No idea.
Like, who's the original out there? If you're out there, who's the original S drawing person? Because we want to know.
I want a certificate. I want a certification of authenticity. If you're
I
claiming
want
to be the person that
copyright the S drawing, so that way it's ours.
Yeah.
So we own it. The stylized S symbol from the 1990s, often
cool
called
S.
the cool S or the super S, is a stylized letter S that became popular among children and teens during that decade. It characterized by a series of lines that form an elongated S shape, often drawn on notebooks and school supplies. The symbol's origin is uncertain, but it's widely associated with the clothing brand Stussy.
Stussy.
Stussy sounds like a very cool name, you know, like who came up with that name? Who is that? The cool S gained popularity in the 1980s and 1990s, becoming a common sight in school notebooks, graffiti, and even on some clothing. The cool S spreads across different regions, including North America, South America, Europe, Asia, according to news.com. It was often seen as a simple yet distinctive way to express individuality and creativity. The cool S represents a nostalgic symbol for many who grew up in the 1980s and 1990s, symbolizing a sense of youth and creativity. Because we all thought we were super cool artists and we could draw the S.
Yeah, and it showed off your creativity and individuality by everyone also doing it.
For sure.
You know, you're like, yo, dude, I drew this cool S, and your homie in grade school was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to draw. Like, it's not rocket science.
Yeah, you can do that too.
I just wonder, I can't remember how I just like seen it. I think I just started drawing it. Like, I don't remember someone showing me.
I think you'd see it in passing on someone else's stuff.
And you're like, I can do that.
I can do that too. Watch me do that.
It's so weird to think, like, something that we have no idea where it started, and it's part of our growing up.
I don't actually remember ever drawing it because it was everywhere.
Oh, I definitely drew it. But I took art class all through, like, grade school, middle school, and high school, so it was one of those things, I don't know, it just kind of was out there.
I'm not
out in the world, artist. You know?
I drew stick people beating the shit out of each other sometimes.
Stick people.
You know what I mean? Like stick figure fights.
Stick figures are pretty dope, though. That's okay.
Yeah, that was my go-to.
I was really into art, so I drew a lot of stuff. Like, I like to draw, like, cars most of the time as a kid, or like Dragon Ball Z type of people and like their hair and stuff like that. Yeah. Thing is, who remembers bringing Lunchables to school or eating them at home? Wherever you were taking them in, you remember this packaging for the outside. And what was your favorite Lunchable as a kid, Andrew?
Dude, the pizza ones were great.
The pizza one? Now, did you have the pizza one with like the pizza and then the other one? Remember there was a regular pizza and then you had the chocolate pizza where you could put... No? So there was one where you could put like chocolate frosting type stuff or whatever.
Dessert pizza.
And then put M&Ms on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, dude, this is like great. And now, obviously, I don't eat these now. But Lunchables is something as a kid like you had in your fridge because it was something easy to eat.
Cheap.
Pretty cheap, yeah.
Yeah. I'd always make a sandwich out of the pizzas.
Did you always eat all of it, or did you eat only...
I always ate all of it.
You always ate all your stuff? Yeah. See, we kind of grew up in there where you had to eat all the stuff. You didn't have the choice, like, oh, I don't like green beans or whatever, like how people are now.
Too bad.
Yeah,
but most of the time, you wanted a Lunchable for like if there was a dessert, like a little Crunch bar or something.
Oh yeah, because it was like that one little bar. You're like, dude, this is like my highlight. Yeah. Like now I'm gonna eat all this. You couldn't
wait to eat a whole Lunchable to get a mini-sized Crunch bar that they also hand out at Halloween. You know what I mean? Like you could go to a store and just
see, like now as an adult, you can just buy your candy. You don't care about that little bar.
As a kid, that was like a super satisfactory treat after eating your Lunchable.
And then you had the drink too.
Yeah, the Capri Sun.
Capri Sun, dude. The Capri Sun definitely hits.
Still hit. They're still great.
They are so good.
Yeah.
I don't know why as a kid that was like, man, playing outside and being all sweaty and hot and then having a Capri Sun, nice cold Capri Sun.
I always imagined the commercials that I turned into like a silver like goop thing. You know, remember those commercials? Kids
so I do have a couple of ads on here. Like we'll show them, but here's some pictures of some of
other
the ones. And remember when they had the deep dish pizza mega? Like they started getting like extreme. Like we're like, okay, we don't need kids being healthy anymore. Now we're just gonna make it super unhealthy.
Shove this in your mouth. There's that pizza and treats.
Yeah, pizza and treats.
Yeah.
Treats.
Yeah.
And then the taco one, you remember that one?
Yeah.
And the nachos.
Yeah.
The tacos, man, I don't know why it didn't taste like Taco Bell because obviously it's a lot different. Yeah. But as a kid, I'm like, dude, this is so good.
Yo, these are fire. Also, if I'd like people, comment on these if you had Lunchables. But if you got the ham or the turkey ones,
I got the turkey. Always turkey?
Did you make like a cracker, cheese, turkey? Or did you just make a massive sandwich and try to eat it in one go?
You just make the whole stack.
Yeah.
I think I made individual. I don't think I made the whole stack. That sounds like it'd be really hard to do as a kid.
It was.
Eat the whole
awful.
Thing.
But, because you're eating all those crackers at once too. But later on, as I got older, I realized that I could just eat turkey or ham cracker sandwiches and then just eat a whole wad of cheese at once.
Or would you just eat only cheese? There's probably someone out there that didn't eat the meat and they just ate the cheese.
Oh, that's true too.
Well, maybe that too. But I'm not a big ham guy, so I didn't eat the ham. But I did eat the whole thing. I would put like one in each. I don't remember if I would. I think I tried to stack maybe two of them, but I don't know about the whole stack. That's a lot. Like
it was bad.
That would make it like this tall.
You'd have to like put it in your mouth sideways.
And like it's funny because there's no like begging you to do it. You're just doing it.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I'm just gonna do it. So some of the classic ads. We're gonna start with the OG early 90s.
Fixing lunch is one of the joys of motherhood.
Peanut butter again?
It's a thankless job.
Ain't salad.
Isn't this your doggy bag from last night?
You're always pressed for time.
Are you mad at me?
Thank goodness for Lunchables from Oscar Mayer.
Look at that meat. See, there you go.
Crackers, even dessert. Best of all, kids love them.
Yeah, it's better stop complaining.
Lunchables from Oscar Mayer.
Maybe that's where you got the idea about the stack.
Lunch will never be the same.
From the ad, maybe you're like, oh man. So there's some
Lunchables. Lunch will never be the same.
This one's funny.
Why me? Yuck. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
He's so excited.
Right. The other kids are around there like, shut up.
But you can like taste that one for the taco though, like just seeing it,
Yeah.
you're like, I can just taste the taco meat. Like it's just
You can all
probably so much sodium.
How unhealthy was that pre-cooked? I mean, it's just like pre-cooked canned meat.
Now, did
But
you heat the taco meat or did you just eat it
No,
cold?
mostly. I mean, if you took it to school, most of the times you couldn't heat that stuff up.
Oh man,
know what I
see,
mean?
I wonder how good that was to do.
Yeah, it's just to heat them up.
It's like they used to have the hot dog one too, where they had the hot dog and hamburger ones. So that was like
I wonder if
later on.
hot dog Lunchables is what fueled my love for eating cold hot dogs, because you
Yeah,
couldn't-
because if you didn't heat them up, you were just eating
yeah,
them
you just eat
however
them
they
straight
were.
out of the
like,
fridge. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
you're like cold, whatever.
Yeah,
We're gonna
I'm
go
a
with it.
kid. I'm gonna go run outside and probably take a dump in the woods. Something, you know.
I didn't grow up in the woods, so it would be taking a dump in the apartment area.
Yeah,
That would be bad.
I didn't grow up in the woods either. I mean, I grew up in cornfields, but
I mean, that's pretty close though. You're out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
yeah.
So the next one up is now this is when they started to veer towards like getting kind of like that nostalgia. You remember everything had to be like a certain color. Like they started changing the color of things. Or no, sorry, this one's the hot dog one.
He's round the chair.
I do remember this hot dog one.
Yeah, it's like the claymation.
Yeah.
This calls for a celebration. Egg salad.
Dad, we need an all-star lunch.
They were like, these are so trash, just make them out of clay.
They don't look good in clay though.
Cheeseburgers.
Ugh.
Even cola. How about sardine smoothies?
How about not?
Now the cola, what kind of cola was it? It was just Lunchable cola
Yeah.
with the hot dog one and the hamburger. What kind of cola was it? Like RC cola
Yeah,
type drink?
it
I
was
don't remember it being like Coke,
It
because like
was-
Coke and Pepsi and RC are all different. They have a different
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah, it was just like your generic.
And I'm definitely a Coke guy. Like as a kid, like I don't drink any soft drinks now, but as a kid,
Coke was
Coke's definitely up there with OG for sure. If you have like this, I don't know what the drink was. I don't remember really drinking it a whole lot for this one.
I can tell you my favorite soda in the 2000s was Pepsi Blue.
Pepsi,
Man. And I only liked Pepsi Blue because I can't describe the, like when you drink it, I could just blow really big spit bubbles, and that's why I liked it. That's the only reason, and it was blue.
So this is the one I was trying to show. I think hopefully next.
And now, I, the great Delaney, can make my own magic.
Ooh.
Like new Lunchables pizza
They turn the
that
sauce
changes
into
color.
green sauce. Oh, it looks so gross.
And behold,
Yeah.
my new Lunchables fun
But
snack.
this one looks good.
Totally
That
transformed.
does, yeah, like a cookie.
And for my
Frosting
grand
can be a
finale,
different color.
some Lunchables have a chocolate surprise.
And then everyone murdered it.
Better hurry before they disappear. New Lunchables, make your own
Nachos,
magic.
man. Nachos be different color. Green. Ugh, that sounds gross. See, like certain things, like being in different colors is.
And I think that's what they were tapping into. It was a different color. It was like colored ketchup.
Yeah,
they're trying
like
to,
how we
like,
talked about on the other
Look
ones.
how different we are.
Yeah, look how different. Well, because it was kind of in that, Nickelodeon type like slime era. So
Yeah.
like green, like seeing things a weird color was. For us, it was just usual type stuff. It wasn't anything off the wall. But Lunchables, a 90s staple, were a pre-packaged meal designed for kids, offering a mix of meat, cheese, crackers, in a convenient box. They were marketed as a fast, easy lunch option for working parents. While popular, Lunchables face criticism for their nutritional content, particularly their high levels of sodium, fat, and processed ingredients that we loved.
Yeah.
Because we weren't thinking, as a kid, I wasn't thinking, I was like, I wonder if I should eat healthier now.
Yeah. Ooh, Mom, I don't know about this.
Even
the
though-
sodium's really high.
As a kid, you had the pyramid as a kid.
Yeah, the
Remember,
food pyramid.
the food pyramid where you wanted all the different nutrients. We weren't thinking like, oh, the sodium's a little high on this. Like now, as an adult, I do think like that. But
Mhm.
as a kid, I'm like, pfft,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm like drinking a soft drink. I'm running around outside.
Living
Like,
my
who cares?
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who cares? I'm not fat.
Carefree. I was fat. I I was a fat kid.
Yeah, but look at you now, though.
Yeah.
You're all dressed up.
Yeah.
Dressed up to show up again for round 2.
Round 2.
Lunchables were introduced in 1985 by Oscar Mayer as a way to promote their bologna. The name Lunchables was chosen from a list of options including entrees, cracker wishes, and mini meals. Can you imagine entrees? It sounds like something you go to like order at like an
appetizer.
Yeah, like an appetizer sort of thing, or like a drive-in or something.
Cracker witches though, that's pretty tight. Yo, give me one of them cracker witches.
Cracker witches. I think Lunchables is definitely a good name because it just sounds good. It's like nice and simple, smooth. You know, it's not like mini meal sounds kind of like corny.
Yeah.
But Lunchables were a huge success with sales exceeding 200 million in their first year. So in 1985, I mean, this is for us a little bit, but
yeah,
man, dang, like 200 million back then was a lot more than it. You know, like that's a lot for back then.
I wonder what that would be today.
I don't know. I don't know if that math is done for today's or back then. I would say it's for today's, but back then, what would it be?
I don't know. I mean,
it'd probably be a lot still. Like, I mean, back then it was like the value was so much different. The pizza version of Lunchables released in the mid 1990s and was initially met with skepticism from parents, but was a hit with children. So the pizza one is definitely one of my favorite ones. Like I said, like that was, I don't know what it was. It was something about that one that had a grip on me for wanting it. Like your mom would ask you, because you would actually go to the store with her, you wouldn't just do pickup, and you would pick them out, and you're like, I'm gonna get that one if they got it.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes you get stuck with like what you were talking about. Like I wanted turkey, and then I got stuck with ham, where I'm like, oh,
yeah,
dang, I gotta get like something I don't like because I don't have it.
And I feel like the pizza ones, they could have given you another sauce packet because it seemed like
it wasn't enough.
You never had enough.
You were like trying to like figure out how to make it all work for what you got, because you're like I only got one pack.
You had to divvy it out evenly.
Divvy it out.
That's why I always just made a sandwich. I'd do like a little bit of sauce, cheese, pepperonis, and then I would put the other one on top.
Oh my gosh!
And do that.
You're like stacking it,
dude. I was a fat kid.
Yeah, but that sounds pretty good though to stack it though. Yeah, like, it's a pretty good idea. Or put it in the microwave and heat the cheese and we'll stick together. Mm-hmm. But obviously we weren't thinking about that. We're just trying to eat it quick.
We weren't trying to pound it down.
We're just not waiting for like a microwave for 2 minutes. Like
no, I didn't have time for that.
No,
there's worms outside that I need to dig through.
There's dirt I gotta excavate to find out what's in there.
I gotta eat a bug outside after this. So let's get my belly full of pizza.
That is something as a kid I did too, though. We would go outside and find bugs and we'd keep them. And then obviously they'd never live because we would try to keep roly-polies we'd find underneath rocks. And
yeah.
Despite the criticism, Lunchables remain a nostalgic food for many 90 kids like us. And Lunchables are still sold today and have even expanded to include organic and other healthier options. The design of the Lunchable package was inspired by an American TV dinner because it has that look, like it's got the open where you can see inside all the stuff that you're gonna get, including the little snack. They can't hide that. You see it right there.
There's a divider,
and you see like it was usually like a Crunch Bar, a Butterfinger, little mini like something. Man, and then you would pick out your different ones by the drink option too, because you're like, okay, I gotta have a perfect mix.
Yeah, I don't want the one with fruit punch. And my dad was like, shut up.
What was the Capri Sun one? It was Pacific
Punch.
Cooler or Punch? Was it Punch?
I think it was Pacific Punch.
It was something, but it was good.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if it was healthy, but it was definitely
it wasn't.
Oh man, like Lunchables are just something that even nowadays, like now they have like protein kind where they're like a small strip and it comes with like cheese, meat, and you're like, dude, they're still going.
Yeah.
Like, good job to you guys. Like, you're still feeding our kids. Not my kids because they don't eat Lunchables because they're piggy, but
good job, Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, good job, Oscar Mayer. You provided our bologna and our other meat options and the other one and our pizza love.
You gave us more than wieners. And we thank you for that.
More than wieners. The next one is going to be a big one for anyone that grew up in the 90s, probably the 80s, is Toys R Us. Who remembers Toys R Us and that big lettering above the doorway with all the different colors, and the R was backwards, like the whole thing, and the giraffe on the right to the entrance, it just had all the different colors. Now our Toys R Us here is now no longer Toys R Us. It's like a body shop or something, which is really weird, but it still has that look on the outside. And I just keep thinking about like when I would go there as a kid and how it was just like this place of like, it was like an experience.
Did you ever go back there as an adult? Like, I know it closed and
so before they closed, I did go, and it just didn't like. It was kind of like
it seemed so small.
It was like dwindling. Yeah, like as a kid, everything seems bigger as a kid because you're like only 2 foot tall.
Tiny, yeah. But like walking in there as an adult, and I'm like, whoa, this place is not as big as it used to be. But
no, but it still had that.
I'm also not as big or as small as I used to be. So
it still had that like feel from back then, where
the ghost of Toys R Us.
Like you would walk in, and off to the left it would have all the vending machines right there, and have the claw machine, and then you go to the doors and they open up, and then there was like the little aisle that turned, and then you would go to like, there was like Legos on this side, and then there was like on the left very corner was all like the video games. It was like a little area for all the video games where you look at the games, you'd get to like play them before you actually buy them. Like it just had a different feel, and you had all the action figure aisle, like the Star Wars, Turtles, Hot Wheels,
Transformers.
Yeah, it just had all that stuff that.
And you had your like Barbies and.
Well, I didn't go in the Barbie aisle, but I don't know where you're going.
I went all over the place, dude.
I was usually in the Lego one too, because those little it's like little like clear boxes where they would show you the new ones, and you could like hit the button, and it was supposed to work. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't, because everybody kept pushing it. Yeah. But it just had like, I don't know, it was just like a place of like exploring, because you had like the bicycle in the back, and I really wish I was able, if I was now growing up and that place closed, I wish I would have bought something from ours, because it'd be really cool to have like a like sign from there, or like on the back of it had the pickup one, or it said like pickup, and they go for a freaking buttload now on eBay. But it would be cool to like own something from ours, because like it was a place where I remember going. It was before like like Evansville Toys and Games was a thing. All those other places that we have around here.
Well, now Evansville Toys and Games is like our Toys R Us.
Evansville Toys and Games is definitely my Toys R Us as an adult and as a kid.
I'm telling you now, if you're local to Evansville, check out Evansville Toys and Games. No plug. Daniel doesn't sponsor this. Daniel's just a really great guy.
No, he's a super great guy, and he's
34 years old. And when I walk through that door, I don't know how he did it, but I go from 34 to a 6-year-old child.
Oh, that's right, you're still 34. I forgot.
Yeah,
you got a little longer.
I got a couple months.
You're almost on me. You're almost on the same age. We're close. But Toys R Us just had like a different feel, and like the ads and like the catalogs you would have every year, where they're like those thick old books, and you'd flip through them, and just like the whole thing from like the commercials to the coloring to everything. And they did close all of them, right? And then they brought them back, and it just don't feel the same. Like it's inside of like malls or something now, right?
Yeah,
like stores, like inside of other stores, where it's just like a corner, and it I don't know, it just doesn't have the full feel.
They're giving you a quarter of what it used to be.
Yeah, and like Jeffrey wasn't all like he was like he's on a diet like he is now, that he's like super skinny. He was just a regular sized giraffe. I don't know why they had to make him look different,
modernize him.
Yeah, it's like, dude, did he like lose weight?
He was cool. He was a regular giraffe.
Yeah, like just regular. It wasn't anything.
I don't need
for
him
a size
to have a hat and sunglasses on, dude. Just give me the giraffe back.
Or I should have the giraffe outfit. Remember that the person would be dressed up as a giraffe. Imagine that guy, like that poor guy, or even girl that was inside of that suit, having to like hugging all these kids.
Yeah,
because like Jeffrey just has he just has
aura to him.
Yeah, it just has a certain look and a certain feel. When you see him, you like know it's him if you remember
like
Toys R Us.
Chuck E. Cheese.
So this one's kind of interesting. It's got a 2-part to it, but this ad for Toys R Us has the original, and then there's something after it too.
I don't want to grow up. Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got the best for so much less. You really flip your lid. From bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is.
Gee whiz!
I don't want to grow up, 'cause baby, if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. More games, more toys. Oh boy, I want to be a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Let me
They got a
revisit
million
it.
toys at
From
Toys R Us
82
that I can
to
play with. I don't want to grow up.
1996.
Toys R Us kid.
They got the best for so much less.
Isn't that neat?
Really flip your lid.
From bikes to trains to video games.
It's the biggest toy store there is. Gee whiz!
I don't want to grow up, 'cause baby, if I did,
I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. Once a Toys R Us kid.
Then it goes from adult.
always a
Kid.
Toys R Us
Dude,
kid.
that's awesome.
Isn't that neat? Like, just
They were really hitting that nostalgia aspect.
when you
of
see that ad, you just like feel like I don't know, like when you can like just from watch something, you know how you can like immerse yourself
Oh,
into
yeah.
that era.
take yourself back.
And I didn't even grow up in the
in that
80s,
time.
but like just seeing that ad, I remember seeing like I don't want to grow up, I want to be a Toys R Us kid, like
Yeah.
that whole thing. And it's cool they found the original people that played them, because you can imagine being a kid and then you go back and do it again,
Yeah.
and it's just like you're an adult now.
They're like, hey, you want to do another Toys R Us commercial?
Well-
but you're grown now.
Pay you good, you know.
Like, sure.
Like just the ad, man. Something about old ads just hits, like just makes you feel that you know, that whole era, like the way they're dressed. Even though some of those outfits I didn't dress like that.
No.
In the 1990s, Toys R Us was a dominant force in the toy retail industry, known for its vast selection, immersive shopping experience, and iconic super toy run events. The store also served as a launchpad for many popular video games, including titles like Gex, Star Fox 64, and Bushido Blade. By the mid-1980s, Toys R Us accounted for a quarter of all toy sales in the United States. The company had over 1,300 stores in the 1990s worldwide.
It's crazy.
That is a lot of stores. That's like the Blockbuster thing,
I
you
mean,
know,
in the
that we
90s,
talked
yeah,
about.
It's massive.
Now there's what? I mean, how many is there now? There's probably not that many. I don't know.
Blockbusters?
No,
Is that what you said?
Toys
No.
R Us.
Toys R Us.
Like, how many are there? Then say like came back up. Like, how many are there now?
There can't be very many.
Nah, there can't be very many at all. Like, I don't know how many there are, but it's not 1,300.
Most kids nowadays. I mean, if there were still Toys R Us, it'd be for adults. It'd be for us.
And isn't it weird that like now that gap is no longer there with the store like that, like places like Best Buy now like sell like toys, like they're
Yeah.
like someone else is filling that gap
Yeah.
that's like not there, because you know
Everyone.
obviously you can buy Hot Wheels anywhere, but like certain things you can only buy at certain stores. Like there's Target exclusives now,
Yeah.
and there's used to be like Toys R Us exclusives where you would
Mhm.
buy a console that was only at Toys R Us and you had to go there to get it.
Yeah.
But now you don't, you know, it's kind of the same, but there's not a Toys R Us anymore.
It's not such a big variety.
No. The store was known for its bright lights, colorful displays, and a constant hum of excitement, making shopping a memorable experience. Which is like the people that worked there, they had that energy, and like the people at ours, I thought were always like pretty into it,
Yeah.
because you're like, I got to work at Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm working at Walmart.
Yeah. They were
super
excited about it.
Toy run event where parents could bring their kids to the store to see the latest toys was a highlight of the 80s and 90s. The Toys R Us served as a launch pad for many popular video games, allowing kids to try out new titles before they released. Many remember Toys R Us fondly, describing it as a place where every corner promised something new and exciting, because every corner had something you could go to do.
Yeah.
And they even had
huge selection.
Babies R Us kind of in it for a while in
Mhm.
ours at the right side in the back, which actually moved out into its own place, which is now obviously closed too.
Yeah.
But the Toys R Us founder Charles Lazarus was inspired to start a retail store because of the baby room. After returning home from World War II, 25-year-old Charles noticed that All of his friends were quickly getting married and starting families to take advantage of what would become the baby boom. He used the money he saved while in the service to open up a store that catered to families with babies and young children. My instincts told me that the timing was right, Lazarus told Entrepreneur in 2008 interview. Although timing was a large part of his success in business, his family experience in retail industry helped as well. His parents had owned a bicycle repair shop in Washington, D.C. when he was young, and that was the space that he used to open his baby-focused store, Charles Bargain Town, after the war in 1948. So it's interesting to think, like, he saw an opportunity to open a store, and he's like, all right, everyone's having kids, I'm opening a store to sell toys, which is funny because everyone else is like having kids, and he's like, I want to make money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna do something that
I'm gonna get in this.
No one's done, and he did a great job. Like, it's went down, but later on. Toys R Us was the first big box toy store. In 1957, Lazarus opened up the first Toys R Us as a dedicated toy store in Rockville, Maryland. In addition to the change in products, Lazarus stocked his shelves with thousands of different toys and novelties from nearly every brand customers could imagine, and plenty more they probably never heard of. The end result was more like a supermarket for toys, and it was a far cry from the small family-run toy shop most people found in their communities. As a result, Toys R Us became the first big box toy store in the United States. The backwards in the Toys R Us name had a significant purpose. The hallmark of Toys R Us is the backwards R in the name. Lazarus did this initially to look like a child had written it. The result was a whimsical hallmark that emphasized the family-friendly nature of the store. Later, the company established other brands, including Babies R Us and Kids R Us, that shared the backwards R in their logo. So it's kind of neat, just to do something to make it look a little different, even though it already, I think you could have it either way and it would still be Toys R Us, but
awesome,
it did add a little bit more to the
but that's just great advertising too. There's like signs around here where the like Audubon in Henderson, most of their billboards are upside down because you catch that.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
It's all about like the font and like the style.
Like, you're like, oh, it just says Audubon, but the car's upside down. Not even their.
Well, the car's not up there right now, actually. But remember, it's
the
Audubon one that everybody's talking about is near us, by the way.
Yeah.
The Viper in the sky.
Yep.
That's not in the sky right now. I don't think still. I think they're still working on it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. A Dodge Viper sitting on top of a post.
Just
it's so off the wall
for millions of people to pass by.
Yeah, I would like to drive that Viper, but
I don't even think that thing has an engine in it.
Jeffrey the giraffe's original name was Dr. G. Raffi, which sounds like total gangster nowadays. Jeffrey the giraffe first appeared for Children Morgantown as Dr. G. Raffi. When Toys R Us took off, the Good Doctor got a facelift for the new store, becoming more animated and lovable. The Jeffrey actually came from a Toys R Us store associate. Over the years, Jeffrey experienced several changes, such as losing weight, and including a addition of a family and a brief period in early 2000s when he was giving a prosthetic makeover and was voiced by Jim Hanks, Tom Hanks's brother, which is pretty cool, ain't it? Like Jeffrey just he's like the mascot, so you gotta have Jeffrey, you gotta have something with the store, and that just made it that much more of a store to have him in there. And It is. He has changed a lot. If you look at the pictures of him, he like changes along the way. It's just, I think Dr. G would have been a cool name for him though. We can call him Jeffrey, but Dr. G sounds like a pretty awesome name to give him.
Dr. Giraffe.
But that was back then, you know, like what's this, like the
clever thing to do.
40s back then.
Yeah.
Dr. G, or however early that was. But like obviously nowadays it would be considered he's like a gangster. He should have like a chain and like a backwards hat and
gold
a whole
tooth,
look.
Gold tooth or grill in.
Does he even have teeth? I don't think he opens his mouth, does he? He's probably don't have teeth. Jeffrey now lives at a hospital, well, one version of him at least. Shortly after the final U.S. store was closed in 2018, a giant statue of Jeffrey the giraffe that was kept at the company's headquarters in Wayne, New Jersey was given a new home. Oh, Bristol Myers Squibb Children's Hospital at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, which is a lot to say, in New Brunswick, New Jersey, purchased the statue to bring joy to patients at the facility. Jeffrey used to be a doctor. John, the hospital's former CEO, said in 2018, "I thought it would be a fitting and a little bit ironic that Dr. G. Raffi has moved to the hospital in the next stage of his career." So he went back to being a G again.
Nice.
So it's just, can you imagine
Dr.
being a kid and you
G.
see this giant statue of Jeffrey? That'd be kind of cool to have in here, but there's definitely not enough room for that.
No.
Maybe the outfit, maybe.
We got a Santa Claus here in Evansville, so we got. They.
Well, yeah, that's off the highway.
On
This
41, yeah.
Santa Claus, yeah. That thing used to be at a gas station.
Yeah, and then
That's a conversation we have about giant things that you would see on like road trips, like when you would see like a giant Santa or the giant lumber guy, like those giant
boobies in the middle of the field.
I've never seen boobies.
I mean, we got one by the river downtown. Just like a big boob. Middle of nowhere off the Lloyd. I drive past it and I say, "That's a titty." Right there.
But it's cool that he was given a new home so he can help bring joy to people who are at the hospital, having a hard time, you know. Really awesome. I think
when you're struggling, you see that big giraffe still.
If you guys watch Retro Rick, who's on YouTube and all that stuff, he's at his store. He's got a Jeffrey statue in there.
Really?
Like, I'm talking like it's probably like this tall. Like, it's huge. It looks huge in the videos. I'm like, that is so cool. Like,
wonder how much that was.
He bought it from, I saw the video, it was like bought it from like a flea market type thing or something like that. This guy had it outside of his store, and like everyone that went there knew of this place. And then he bought it, and he had to have the hand fixed. I think like it was maybe the thumb had to be like put on. Yeah, it was like fiber glass, I guess, and it was like broken off. But still, to be around, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Pretty sweet.
Toys R Us isn't completely gone. Although you can't walk into Toys R Us, the brand hasn't completely disappeared. The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in 2017 after seeing a consistent decrease in sales due to largely other competitors and the rise of online shopping. They are now owned by a brand management company, WHP Global, and have announced plans to reopen some retail offerings in late 2021, which is 2025 right now, in the form of a flagship store, pop-ups, or displays within other stores. For now, you can still visit the Toys R Us website, where you'll find digital Jeffrey coloring book pages and tutorials for making Play-Doh shapes and Disney drawings.
That's wild.
Like 2018, they kind of like came back in a way.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, but they're not fully back. They're just kind of like the names
they're
are there.
dipping their toes back in. They're staying relevant.
It's kind of like a nostalgic thing. Like you can feel it, but it's not the same. I think Evansville Toys and Games is ours though here.
That's how nostalgia works.
It's Toys R Us is definitely something that I like. Miss having as a kid, and I try to like do things to make my kids feel like like a Toys R Us type of feel. And I think Evansville Toys and Games hits that good here in our town. And if you have a place IU that's like a small store, you know, chat them out, or if you want to talk about them, because those are the places that we're trying to keep alive still.
Promote local.
Yeah.
Support
like
support
High Score or Player
small,
2 here or Evansville Toys and Games. I mean,
support your local small businesses. These are people. These aren't corporations. These are people who put their lives into this.
Well, because like in a way that they started like Toys R Us, where they just kind of like started out and they had to start small, and then they're huge now, right?
Yeah.
So like it's totally different. So some closing thoughts for this one are, like, we've talked about 2000 art infomercials, TV guys, Waterbeds, Myspace, that S drawing that everybody drew, Lunchables, and Toys R Us. And don't worry, there will be many more comments. We have a list of comments, and if you guys have any ideas, you know, comment them down below. We always appreciate your support. We're getting like a lot of growth on YouTube and TikTok are probably the real big ones, but we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Myspace. No, I'm just kidding. Facebook. I'm trying to trick you guys.
Are you paying attention?
Spotify. I mean, we're on like all the ones except for like Apple Podcasts yet, but we're working on that one. So we appreciate all your guys' likes and your comments and your subscribes and all that stuff and follows. It's
thank you for your
definitely
time.
Cool to hear about your guys' things you remember from those times. Like, you just go ahead and comment them, and we'll try to reach out to all you guys. Obviously, sometimes there's a lot like going on all at once, and we will try to reach everybody if we're able to. And we definitely appreciate all your support, and we do hope that this podcast catches you on your Monday morning, because they'll drop real early, or even just any day of the week, and that this helps you guys have a good time and remember different times. And if there's other topics you guys, as we said, if you want to hear from us talk about them, comment them, you know, we'll put them on the list. Like, there's a pretty big list right now, but and Andrew's always got awesome ideas, but we just really started this as like, this is things that we used to just talk about already, and this is just a way to like kind of spread it out even more, because we used to sit and talk about all sorts of stuff. It could be random.
Very random.
Sometimes it's very random. Well, which is okay. You know, just have someone that you talk to and like you have a good time with. Just enjoy life, man. Like, life's too like short, and just enjoy every day if you can. Make it your most. And
just
until
take care of yourselves.
What?
Just take care of yourselves.
Just take care of yourselves. Maybe, you know, maybe not eat all the Lunchables and the soft drink. No, I'm just kidding.
If you're going,
whatever you guys like, I don't care.
If you're going through a hard time, you know, maybe do that Lunchable sandwich.
Do the Lunchable stacker or the pizza one too. I wonder what it'd be like to have the pizza one with the dessert one in the middle. Stack them all together.
Oh, it'd be atrocious.
That don't sound gross.
It'd be terrible.
Hey, but sometimes the things that you think are gross, you try them and then they're really good.
I feel like I'd need Pepto because I'd have some Hershey squirts if I did all that.
If you like that, he'd be in the bathroom longer. He's already in there for an hour sometimes.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody, and until next time, peace.